Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Brewing Live, all new season, episode 7 for mental preparedness in the new landscape of living amidst challenges of our present time. And Brewing Live is a community service of DCAP Copy Republic, our coaching hub, and home of certified life coaches here in the Philippines. In partnership, of course, with Life Coach Philippines, our heart here as game changers is to brew mental fitness in your space as we spice daily conversations with love, with hope, with joy, and faith. So, shout out to all of my fellow game changers in there. Thank you for serving for the last couple of days. Marami pong salamat for putting in your hearts and your souls in there, and also your knowledge and your skills to be able to help people in the digital space. Maraming salamat, and thank you, of course, for advancing the life coaching profession ethically and authentically. Of course, we want to make sure that you're able to do the right things at the right reasons, for the right reasons. We're doing that for the right reasons so that we can help other people in our space. Giving is a lifestyle, of course. That is what we're being taught. That is what me specifically I realized, that when you give, you will freely also receive. So giving is a lifestyle, and that never goes out of style. So we encourage you to expand your heart in there, today, and by supporting the works that we do in here. These are the things that, it's not easy to create, but it's something that it's really from our heart, and it's something that we want to impart with you. We want to embed with you. It's something that you can utilize, and also you can inspire others in the space as well that you occupy. So be a blessing to us with your food and beverage order. Do order in there something that would bless the digital space, or something that would bless you and also us as well in the public. We have a delicious vegan meal for easy switch. If that is something that you want to do, you want to move to vegan, transition slowly to vegan, it's something that's possible. And it's the Copy Republic has that. You can switch to healthy eating if you want to. And if you also want to experience, the classic comfort food, we have sausage platter in there for your favorite classic, comfort food. This is one thing that myself really like, and also my kids love this. My daughter loves this. My son loves this. My son specifically loves it. So when we order sausages in there, we get uh, one that's cooked and the one that's frozen as well. So if you want it frozen, it's something that you can order in there, and you can cook it at home whenever you like, whenever you like. That is something that is possible. You may also check Decaf Copy Republic page for menu, sumptuous meal, and refreshing drinks, or connect with Coach Rezzhel 0917-586-1661 for your orders. And we are open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. for dine-in, pick-up, and delivery. So if you want to go to a place where it's safe, you would be able to enjoy yourself, you would be able to have a conversation with a life coach, all in one place, go to the Copy Republic. And also, what you can do for this month, if you want to avail of the free I Dream Inspired Journal, that's something that we have as well. We're taking advantage of that you can utilize it on your day-to-day journaling and other freebies. Decaf Copy Republic is so openly giving a lot of different things there to be able to help you in your day-to-day activities, in your work, in your life, in your relationship. These are the things that you can take advantage of. You just need to message Coach Rezzhel in there, which you see in the comment section there. Just message her or contact her 0917-586-1661 if you wish to be able to complete the collection of valuable personal development materials from Master Coach A. And I tell you, it is a blessing to be able to receive that. I'm using the contents, I'm using the gifts in there, and it's a wonderful thing that you're able to implement that on your day-to-day activities. For other ways to support our community works, you may also give us some stars in there. So you see in there, if you're using a mobile phone, there is in the lower part, when they see comments, there's a star in there that you can send some love through the digital space, or if you want, you can do some bank transfer in there as well. Just check on the caption or the description of this video, and for the bank information and also the GCash account. Again, when you bless someone, you give someone something to someone, and especially in a monetary perspective, it also comes back to you in different ways. But of course, you will need to take a look at it in a whole broad range of it. Times you'll never know that you'll get some gifts in there as well, especially the times when you need it. All right. If you just joined us in, welcome, 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 and thank you for being here. You may circulate this link for this video to invite your friends and watch with you as well. You can do that. You may also tag them on the comment section below and give them a shout out. Tell them, hey, come in, let's have some learnings this afternoon. You can do that as well. As for me, let me give a shout out to my fellow mental model correctors. Hello everyone in there coming in, joining in. Coach Candy, my better half, Coach Tin, Coach Nords from the far northern reaches of the Philippines. Coach Rezzhel is also there as well. Maraming salamat for joining me. The mental model collectors and the other mental model correctors joining in there inside the B Learning Society by Master Coach A. And if you are someone who is yet, are not yet on a smart holder of B Learning e-card, please, please, please do not delay. Come on, take advantage of this. Connect with Coach Rezzhel, 0917-586-1661 to join the B Learning Society, the tent maker of B Learning homes for mental fitness. And what you will get out of there is enjoy a 5% food and beverage discount from Decaf Coffee Republic and get a full access to the Mental Model Masterclass by Master Coach A happening on the every third Saturday of the month. Plus, what you will get as well is a 90-minute free coaching session with a senior coach from Life Coach Philippines. And this month, it's going to be a powerful month. This month's Mental Model Masterclass is going to be scheduled on July 17th at 7 p.m. And Master Coach A will teach the 80-20 Mental Model Masterclass. Don't miss this. Miss not the opportunity to learn the mental model behind the 80-20 rule and discover how you too can master and apply it to almost every area of your life to accelerate your success. You can utilize it in your relationship. You can utilize it in your habits. You can also utilize it in your purpose, your values, career, business, learning, growth, health, any life domains that you have. And there's a lot of different things that Master Coach A would teach us as well on the 80-20 model. We've heard about this in the corporate world. We've heard of this. Some of it we know, but how intentional are we of really practicing it and really utilizing the mental models in there so that we can utilize it in the day-to-day activities? If that is something that you want, that is something that you want to grow with, that is something that you want to be great at, message us for more registration and information assistance. And again, Coach Rezzhel, 0917-586-1661. All right. So moving on for today's episode, I will be sharing to you the ABC of mental fitness. Always be connecting. Yeah, and let's always be connecting. Please do tag your friends in there. Forward this video link and invite the others to join our conversations on mental preparedness. If you're watching this on a replay, just comment in there #replay and do send this as a message. If you wish to connect with any points that resonates with you, if it's something that resonates with you, feel free to message us. We'll be happy to have a conversation with you. Let's share some insights. Let's share some knowledge in there. You may also find the YouTube link where you can watch the replay. All of the episodes of Brewing Live is in the caption in this video. You can get the high definition video in there. What I've been doing before back in the corporate world is I get a video, high definition. I allow my people to watch it. You can utilize that. Then afterwards, get some insights in there. I mean, it's a wonderful conversation that you will be able at least to get an understanding of how your people think, and you can support them better. Diba? That is something that you can do. So please do that. Please do follow and subscribe to the channel so that you will be notified with the new learnings when video comes in available, real time. All right. So for everyone who's joining me this afternoon, thank you to Leonard. Coach Candy is here. I am Coach Shaun Joya. I am a professional CACC life coach and mental health coach. I am also from Life Coach Philippines. So that is what I do. I'm a professional life coach, and I'm also a certified mental health coach. And my focus is in the area of self-leadership. And self leadership is our ability to be intentional in the way we think and the way we feel and the way we respond. And I've utilized self leadership for most of my career, although I didn't know that was self leadership. It was only until I, met life coaching that I was learning my more about myself. I was tuning in. I was trying to understand, the things I've been doing, that I realized, hey, I was doing self leadership, and that is a wonderful thing that I also impart with my people. That's why I'm super, super successful in my career. And also the people that I've carried there got promoted when they were with me. So it's a wonderful feeling, And that is something that I do. I help people to be intentional on the kind of relationship that we have and the kind of experiences that they want to create. I have been a father for 19 years. I started when I was 19 years old. So I've started early in fatherhood and also in parenting. I also started in being a husband. I have two children right now. My eldest is now 19 years old. She's an animator. She's an entrepreneur. She's a creator. So that is something that I'm super proud of her, that she didn't, move, started in the workplace or a corporate job, started as an entrepreneur. And my son is 15 years old now, moving in, also have this talent in there. He's currently, what I'm seeing in him, what he's doing is currently he's creating this images, like realistic images of pictures like apples and so on and so forth. And that's a wonderful feeling. So my hope, I don't know what he really wants yet, but in coaching, that's the beauty of the process of life coaching, because you just allow your children to journey until eventually they were able to find what they want. Coach Beverly, maraming salamat for joining. Good afternoon. All right. I have been doing this coaching profession full time since I left the corporate world back in 2019 after 14 years of successful career in the call center industry. So if you are someone who is in the call center industry, in the contact center industry, in the BPO industry, my role in there is a workforce management director. So I put it, the role of the workforce management director is to make sure that you have the right people at the right place at the right time doing the right things. That is what I do. And that was my role from my last company before I left. And today I am doing life coaching full time as a profession. I am on a mission to help the workplace create a mentally fit environment so that the workplace can live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. The workforce can live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. I've experienced times in the workplace that, you too focus on your job that you tend to lose sight of the life that you have your passions, you have your talents, you have your gifts. And if that is something that can be ignited back and you can utilize that on your passion projects, every time you go home, just 1 hour of your time, believe me, that will speak a lot of how you will be totally inspired and motivated to do the things that you want to do. All right, let's begin. Let me begin with a story. And beginning with a story. As I've said, I've been a parent for 19 years. I've been in corporate for 14 years. I am an absentee parent. There you go. I am an absentee parent. And I'll explain that, what an absentee parent means. I started early. When my son was born, the I had a first job which is a service engineer. What I do is a service photocopiers back then in Sucat, Parañaque, in the Philippines. So for those who's watching, it was a field work, and my earning in there was not sufficient. It wasn't even enough for me to support my needs when I was here in Metro Manila. And one of the things I've realized when my son, which is Seth, was born, I told myself that, hey, I have two kids. I have a wife and myself. The money that I'm getting here will not be able to support that. So I made a decision to quit, and I've started looking, and I was able to found, try to look for work in the call center industry and other industries, what have you. And I was fortunate enough to be hired for one of the biggest contact centers in the world right now. And that is something that I was blessed with. And one of the things that I put all my effort and attention on is work. Work. Like I've learned from my dad, I've learned from other people, I've learned from the culture of this world, that if you want to bring success into your family, what the man needs to be is to be financial providers. We need to be able to provide to the family financially. And what does that mean? You will need to be able to have a home on the a house on the roof, and be able to send them to school for the kids, be able to buy different things, be able to travel and all of this different things, making sure that our kids would eventually thrive as they go along. But unfortunately, during those times that my kids were growing up, I didn't really had that moment with them. Now, I was physically present, but I was mentally absent. I was spiritually absent, and I was also emotionally absent. So think of my experience, 14 years of my corporate career. More than half of that, I was an absentee parent. It was only, I think, 5 years ago when I really started to, make a shift towards how I parent my children, how I spend time with them. And it was 3 years ago when I totally rebumped, renewed, and made a significant shift on how I see my children. And during the course of me being a father, I'm the kind of father that is silent, but when things are going nuts at home, when my kids are unruly, when my kids are not doing the things that we're asking them to do, that is the time that I either shout at them or spank them. So yes, I am the kind of father that does that, and that is how my belief is, because I know that my belief back then, what was, when I spank and I shout at my kids, they would follow me. They would do the things that I'm telling them to do. They would do the things that I'm asking them to do. That was my belief anyway. But I knew it in my heart that it was not the right thing. I knew it in my heart that it was a wrong thing to do. And it was unfortunate because I still continued doing that. And you would say, Coach, you are such a bad person. Well, yes, I was a bad person, but I didn't know any better. One of the things that I've learned from my parents is the same thing, right? You spank the children, and eventually your children would follow. And how many can you relate with me? That your parents would, spank you, would shout at you just for you to obey them. Not discipline, but obey them. And that was the same experience that I have. And um, you know, during the course of my fatherhood and being a father, I've realized there was one moment that I realized how my actions was not really helping my children. I can remember a time in which when I was disciplining my children, not disciplining, punishing them. My daughter was so hard headed during those time. Anyway, I think she was hard headed, that I was not able to. I don't know what to do anymore. So I grabbed her and I threw her in the sofa because I was not emotionally, um, was not emotionally managing my emotions. And when I did that, I got shocked and I was surprised at myself. I told myself, "Hey, Shaun, what are you doing? You don't want to be remembered by your children being like that, right?" And I told myself, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change that because that is not helping the way that my children are raising up. Now, I want to highlight here that there are two things that I've learned. One, I knew that shouting and spanking was wrong. So for the parents out there, please stop that. It's not gonna help. I tell you, it's not gonna help. It's only gonna move your children and yourself farther and farther away. And two is, I knew that I was doing something wrong, but I still done it. So there was something disconnecting in the way that I see things and the way that I perceive things. And doing the research, when I realized that, and I became a certified life coach, and I attended this trainings and learnings from Master Coach A, I've learned about cognitive dissonance, and the cognition in which that in your attitude, in the way that you've processed your thoughts, that you're doing something wrong, but in your behavior, you're still taking that action. You're doing the wrong things that your mind has already told you. So that is dissonance. And dissonance is where there is a lack of harmony between what you perceive and what you are doing or how you are behaving. That there is a disconnect in there and there is a challenge in there that it's not aligning. And when there is dissonance in the way that you act and the way that you think, something significant happens in there because there is a lack of harmony between your thinking and your behavior, and you know that something is wrong. And when things are in harmony, when your attitude and your behavior is in harmony, that is called consonance. Yeah, consonant. I mean, consonant, in which there is an agreement between the two. And when I was going through this, I was researching this. I was putting my my heart and my head in there. I realized how this dissonance also affected the way I lived my life, especially during my days in the corporate world, on how I felt about things and how I was thinking about things and how I was doing things. And this theory of cognitive dissonance was published by Leon Festinger. You want to do your research, you can, in 1957. And dissonance and consonance are two cognitions, again, our perception and the way we think, which how we process things, how we process our thinking, how we process our knowing, how we're remembering, how we're judging, and how we're problem solving. And most often than not, if you see, yourself as a parent, if you see your children, they're doing something that's not, aligned to what you think, what you perceive, what your attitude is towards that, then that's going to be a disconnect and you're going to behave in ways to correct it. Now, as I've said, I knew spanking and shouting was wrong. I had that mindset that I knew it was wrong, but I needed to make the change on my attitude to explain or to defend that my thinking and my reasoning holds true. And the behavior that I was doing of shouting and spanking is okay. So there was a dissonance there, and I needed to change the way that I think for me to explain and to say that what I was doing was true. Think about dissonance as if you're someone who eats in a fast food chain, maybe you eat a burger, and when every time you eat a burger, it's not healthy for you. But still, you love it. You love eating. And, changing a behavior is so difficult and challenging. So what we'd rather do is we change the way that we see it, that at the end of the day, hey, a lot of people are eating hamburgers anyway. And they're still okay. So I would just eat. So I wouldn't change my behavior. So people would change their attitude because it's much easier instead of changing their behavior. And that is where, dissonance comes in and consonance comes in because there's an alignment. But still, you know it in your heart that it's still not holding true. I knew that when I spank my children and I shout at my children, they would be responsible and they would be accountable. And unfortunately, what happened is, although it's part of it, when my daughter was 16 years old, she was diagnosed with depression. And that is a second blow that I needed to make a sound decision for me on how to support our daughter. 3 years ago, Coach Tin was looking for a career shift. She was wanting to do something else that would, allow her heart and allow her inspiration and motivation to continue on. And I found life coaching at the Cup Coffee Republic. This was in their old place in Mandaluyong. And I went through that and attended one of the class of Master Coach A. I think it was a Thursday, Coaching for the Soul. And I've heard her. I reflected on it. And I think it's about a month or two. I got hooked. I realized how valuable life coaching is, that even me just attending the class every Thursday and every Tuesday, it changed the way how I see my children. It changed the way how I see my relationship. It changed the way I see my work. And it changed the way how I see myself. So, in dissonance, what I've learned are three things. What I've learned is, the first one is, I knew that spanking and shouting was wrong, but I still choose to depend on it and don't change my behavior because it's easier to change the attitude. So that was the dissonant, and I needed to make it a consonant. Number two is, I knew that if I will no not change, or I will not spank my children long term, they're not going to be able to be responsible as I am. So I thought. And the third is, I knew that my children will become fearful of me, but I still choose to think that eventually they will be accountable towards whatever they do in life. Then they would start changing the way they see things. So that's not things. I needed to change the way I think about things to become consonant, to become everything in synergy. But I shared a while ago, when I've experienced seeing my daughter, when I throwed her in the sofa, in the couch, and I also saw her being depressed and clinically diagnosed, for that matter. I needed to change. I needed to make the necessary change, because if I don't do that, I will lose my family. And at times, you would need to make sacrifices of your own comfort for you to be able to have the kind of relationship and the kind of family that you want for your children. So I told myself I would change. And life coaching came in. I remember one day that I asked myself, if what the kind of memory would I want my children to, you know, remain when I die. And I told myself that whatever attitude had before and behavior I had before is not the kind of legacy that I want to live for my children. It's like telling your children, hey, you know that my father, or maybe I'm the father and I have my children now, I would tell them, hey, your father is the one that just spanks me and shouts at me, busy at work, now just doing work, getting promoted, doing this and so on and so forth, have a lot of different things at house, have this all different things, but I really don't know my father. And I don't want that. So I changed that because I felt that if I continue doing the things that I'm doing, it's not gonna be good. It's like you're lying in your deathbed, saying and telling yourself that, hey, you could have done a better job, Shaun, but you didn't. And I didn't want to be in that space. Coaching has transformed the way that I see my life. When I became a certified life coach, I met all of the coaches in there at the Coffee Republic. You have Coach Rezzhel in there. You have Coach Candy in there, Coach Raj, Coach Clint was there back then, Coach PB, Coach Maureen, and Master Coach A. They gave me an opportunity to see my life for what it is. And I've gained success too much in my career that I became so prideful, so arrogant, so egoistic, so arrogant, and so self-entitled about the things. Because I've proven time and again that I can be promoted, whatever I do, I can move up. But there was something missing in my heart. And I needed to make an assessment of how all of these things are interconnected, how all of these things are affecting the way that I see my family, that I see my children, that see my spouse, and even the way that I see my parents. Always be connecting for me is being in a space in which you know that the conversations that you're having is not just a transactional conversation. It needs to be a space that it's in relational conversation in which you're really trying to deep dive and have this desire or interest to know the person. In the corporate world, we're seldom being taught the relational connection. Most of the conversation is transactional. I need A, B, C. When do I need it? This one, send it to me, and that's it. But when was the last time that we really had a moment to stop, sit down, and ask people to, hey, how are you? How's life? How's the children? Or if it's your kid, how are things at school? What are the things that you've learned so far? What are the things that you're thankful for? And how can we help you as a parent? This kind of conversations I didn't have before. It was only when I became a certified life coach that I realized how powerful questions really is. And questions not asking question why. Asking questions what, how, who, when. Those are the questions, if it's thought provoking, it's coming from a space of interest, genuine interest for the person. It just really changes the way the person sees you because the person knows that, hey, this person has stopped for me. This person saw me. This person cared for me. This person loved me. And that has changed the way I see connections. That I would be intentional and always be connecting. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. 19 years, just started 3 years ago, and changing the way that I connect with my children, even connecting with other people. But you'll see the improvement. My son has been in a space in which he has his own little world. And when we started to make a change in the way that we converse with my son directly, I mean, he's now sharing with me his thoughts. He's sharing to me what his needs are. He's sharing to me what he wants. And that is such a powerful feeling that you can be able to hear your children share to you their deepest thoughts, their deepest desires. And one of the things that my win most recently is my daughter. She was able to share to me her heartache because, she was doing this game, but one of her characters died. And I was so touched there because I made it. I made it, and my daughter is, opening up with me emotionally, and I would be able to manage it. So, how can you always be connecting? I'll share to you the ABC. Letter A is, I hope you're ready. The ABC, always be connecting. Letter A is acknowledge their attitude and behavior. At times, children and even other people, we tend to judge them on the way they act. We judge the human beings rather than the behavior. Before judging, let's acknowledge first that that is the truth for them. That the way that they see life, that the way that they see us, that the way that they see things, that the way that they respond to situation is true for them, which equates to the behavior that we have. Because when we start acknowledging it, and our children feels and other people feels that, hey, I really hear you. I don't understand yet, but I hear you. And that is where the time in which the person drops all of their walls and they start sharing. That is letter A. Letter B is, this is specific to you. Befriend your thoughts and feelings. I can remember a moment at which at times my son would respond to me and I would know Go beast mode. I would go Hulk smash on him because I felt that he was disrespectful of me. That was my thoughts and my feelings, and I put it in, in my behavior, only to realize that, hey, my son was acting that way because that was the best way that he can express himself. So I befriended my thoughts and my feelings. I started acknowledging it that I was not a good father. I started acknowledging that, you know, I didn't spend time with them. I started to acknowledge that, hey, my feeling of guilt and shame during those times is true. And we need to start healing in that space. And that changed the way things went out, things have gone for me and my children. And the third is communicate. Communicate by using positive emotions. Positive in a way that it's constructive, that you're able to verbalize your thoughts, that you're able to verbalize how you feel, that you're able to, put things in perspective, that when you're replying to someone, to your children, you're responding in a way so that they understand you and you understand them. One of the great miracles of the life coaching profession is allowing me as a man to be more emotionally invested. I'm a cerebral guy. Most of the work that I do is in analytics. Like, give me a number, worksheet in there, I'll do it. Give me something to plan on, I'll do it. I'll start that, transition it to someone, and I'm good. I can do that. But relational connections, that's something that I needed to work on. I needed to invest on. And I've realized that men out there, for most often than not, we're not really emotionally taught on how to respond with our spouse, with our children, even with other people when they are not, emotionally, balanced. And that's the biggest learning. So where are you at right now? How are things in your relationship? How are you connecting with your children? How are you having conversations with them? And how are you making a mark in them that when the time ends, when you're called by God, your kids would tell you that, hey, thank you, Dad. Thank you, Father. You've guided us well. You've went us to top, thick and thin. You've supported us. You gave us wisdom. You gave us the knowledge to be successful. And I will pass that on to my children because I know that the things that I've learned from you would eventually change the future generations for my children and my children's children. If that is something that you feel that you want as well, and if you're looking for a community to get that support, feel free to join me. I have a group. It's called Effective Parenting Partnership. If it's something that you want to learn about parenting, if you want to level up your parenting, if you want to get some tips, tricks in there, and some knowledge in there on how you can parent your children effectively, feel free to join in there. Effective Parenting Partnership. Just answer the questions in there so that I can approve you. Currently doing a 21 day and ways how to manage your stress challenge in there that would help you as a parent manage your stress. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. Again, the ABC is acknowledge their attitudes and behavior, befriend your thoughts and feelings, and communicate by using positive emotions. Thank you for joining me today and for supporting advancement of mental fitness. I hope you are mentally fit. If you are not mentally fit, if it's something that you are working on, feel free to message us here at Decaf Coffee Republic every Saturday. If you want to join us at 4 p.m., Decaf Coffee Republic hosts a face-to-face free talk on mental preparedness. And I invite you, join us or join in Coach Candy. She will talk about, she will talk about mental preparedness. Coach Candy is a fellow mental health advocate. If you are a fellow mental health advocate, join in. This is a talk for you. If you care about mental wellness and you desire to protect yourself and your loved ones from mental illness and challenges, this is something that will allow you, if you're interested to become a professional service provider, either as a life coach or a mental health coach like us, connect with Coach Rezzhel, 0917-586-1661 to know more about the Actively Co-Create Life Coach Certification Program by Master Coach A. And we're going to have a mental health certification and internship program will be available by August. So if you are a mental health advocate, that will be available very, very soon on August. Inquire now and reserve your slot. Join us back tomorrow, of course, same time and same digital space for episode number 8, Childless and Healthy, a Matter of Choice. This is going to be from Life Coach C. Bercasio. All right? The Cup Coffee Republic is located inside Pioneer Center Compound, or widely known as PC. We are just across Bayanihan Center in Pioneer Road, corner Bixton and United Streets in Capitolio, Pasig City. Maraming salamat for joining me. I hope you're able to get some wisdom and some nuggets in here. Do share some of your learnings to the people that you've talked to. Let's bless the digital space. Let's bless people. With a lot of happenings in this world, I think just one person, saying hi to someone and giving them their insight would mean a lot for that person. All right? So, again, this is Life Coach Shaun Chong Di Joya, mentally fit to serve in behalf of Life Coach Philippines. This is us in the Philippines. Labam boom, labam boom, labam boom. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.